Hat Atelier is one of the most breathtaking manga series out there, and no, I'm not saying this because of the beautiful art that has the best and most creative paneling in the whole of the manga industry, or the amazing cast of characters that gives you a reason to fall in love with each one, but I'm saying this because of the ingenuity behind the power system, the massive and interesting history behind the story, world building that can rival even One Piece, and the story that takes the high points of both high fantasy and low fantasy, making this amazing mix of magic. Ever since the day a mysterious witch sold her a picture book detailing the wonders of magic, Coco has loved magic and wished to become a witch. Unfortunately for Coco, everyone knows witches are born, not taught. Coco now lives a magicalist life, working as a helper for her mom, a dressmaker, until the fateful day when the witch Quiffrey visits her mother's shop. Secretly observing as Quiffrey magically repairs a flying chariot, Coco watches in awe as he casts his spells by drawing glyphs. Trying to replicate the effect, Coco turns to the magical picture book. When she copies down the glyphs in the book, Coco finds that even she is able to perform magic, until everything went completely wrong. After casting an uncontrollable spell, Coco is saved by Quiffrey. However, her mom, caught in the crossfire, got turned to stone. After debating whether to take her in as an apprentice or to erase her memories, Quiffrey makes Coco an apprentice, leading her into the magical world that is being a witch. Now, the idea that you have to be born a witch has always been dumb to me. Yes, I can still watch Harry Potter and enjoy it, but all of these people were ultimately just lucky. And I understand there comes a degree of luck when learning magic, but Hat Atelier gets rid of that stereotype while also using it as a misconception to protect the world. Magic is learned and taught. It isn't something you're just born with. So get your pens and paper out. A seal, also known as a glyph, is made up of 3 parts. First, the sigil. The sigil is the main component of a seal that decides the type of spell that is cast. There's fire, water, earth, wind, and light. Second, keystones. Keystones control what form, size, and direction the spell takes, with a multitude of them existing throughout the manga, but one example being a column. And finally, the outer ring. The ring is what finalizes a spell, and once this ring is fully drawn, it activates the spell in collaboration with the other 2 parts. Now you might think, oh, that's easy. What makes the power system so special? The most appealing part about the power system is that it mostly is up to the character's creativity and knowledge, and that's mostly because even though this is a magic-based series, it's much more scientific than it seems. For example, chapter 3, Coco overextended a keystone with a water sigil in the middle of it. The spell manifested water, but it went to the side, which just based on that small interaction, which Hat Atelier already shows how delicate and precise of a craft magic is. It's not waving your wand haphazardly, it's not putting your hand out and screaming as loudly as possible, it's a much more poised art that is basically akin to drawing patterns. And coming from a mangaka that beautifully crafted this manga, I can't help but believe that she sees a little of herself in Coco. The creativity behind the character is also an aspect of the magic. For example, chapter 21. Ago, Riche, and Awini are stuck during a test. They have to get across the bridge but can't let their feet leave the ground. So each character comes up with a creative way so they can get across. It's not like every single problem has a single solution. It's also up to the character's originality and creativity, leading to not only the characters but also the magic having a unique appearance. Characters, including the ones I mentioned, are all fantastic. Kifri, Ordugyo, Ago. Okay, look, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I'm gonna be able to say all these names in a row, so instead here's a little bit of a montage of me trying. Kifri, Ordugyo, Ago, Teti. These names are horrible, I'm sorry. What's a Kifri, Ordugyo, Ago, Every single character has something interesting to them. Yes, the author initially makes you think that every character is going to fall into some sort of stereotype, but all of them are not only unique to themselves, but each adds something to the story apart from being a basic person. These characters also slowly get broken down, such as Quiffrey and why he's interested in the book that Coco had, Ako and why she has a slight hatred towards Coco, and all the other characters being much more deeply layered than they seem. This is literally my script, but you guys already got the point. However, there are 2 main factions within the witch world. Brimcap witches, which are the antagonists of the story, and pointed hat witches, which is what Coco and her companions are. These 2 factions are the main factions that set the political landscape behind magic. By some disagreeing and being ostracized, while others agree to the ban of certain rules and living life without spells that are also known as forbidden spells. The history and world building within this series is also so amazing to the point that I'll never retract what I said. Not only does Hat Atelier have amazing physical world building through Coco's village, the Great Hall, Kong, and so many more locations, but this series is also able to paint an amazing and vast picture of how the world got to that point through its history. The history within this series is amazing, from the origin of the pentagram test to tiny details that keep getting unraveled about the day of the pact. I really want to talk about this aspect, but I feel like it would be a disservice to the people that haven't read this series. But all I can say is that the history doesn't hold back. From history about pointed hat witches and the brim hat witches, how unknowings became unknowings, and the history behind the 3 wives. Now I need to talk about the author. Early on in Shirahama Kamome's life, she already had a foot in the artistic world with a designer father and a mom who used to paint. Due to her parents encouraging her with museum visits and art TV shows, she took a keen interest for Western art. Later on, Kamome graduated from the Tokyo University of Fine Arts, leading to her doing a multitude of comic covers for Marvel, Star Wars, DC, and Image Comics. Some of these covers include Star Wars Dr. Aphra number 12, The Last Jedi adaptation number 2, Batgirl Birds of Prey number 11, and so many more. The Western influence she has is also shown in Hat Atelier. Art Nouveau is a compelling and energetic style in visual arts, which span from the early 1890s to the First World War that can look like this, which looks extremely similar to this. She also uses a technique called etching, which is a printmaking process in which lines or areas are incised using acid into a metal plate in order to hold the ink. The etching throughout the series can be seen through stormy skies, such as in chapter 1 to emphasize the hill, the cloudy skies, etc. Now, I literally can't talk about the art without mentioning the paneling. This series has been known for having the best paneling in the entire manga industry, and yes, I'm not even joking. But it isn't great just because it's creative, but the main aspect of the paneling that is extremely impressive is that it adds to the fluidity and enhances the storytelling drastically. Yes, you have your basic panel organization such as this, but scroll a couple pages more and you get a page like this that not only has amazing composition that makes your eyes slowly go down, but also enhances the emotions of the character. Reading Hat Atelier for the first time made me question what's the difference between someone that makes art and someone that's an artist. Is it someone that pushes boundaries? Is it someone that just makes art? Am I an artist? I don't know, but I'm extremely confident when I say Shida Hamakamome is an artist, and a great one at that. Now, Hat Atelier isn't just another fantasy series that gets another copy every month. It's a series with an extremely cohesive power system, art that not only takes advantage of Western elements, but also elevates other aspects of what manga is supposed to be, and characters that seem like a stereotype but slowly open up within the story. It's also made by an author that clearly has a passion and a goal that aims to be different within a pretty diluted genre, and I can confidently say it succeeds at that. I understand that from an outsider's perspective, it might seem like a story that is purely carried by art, but you'd be completely mistaken. Now, to finish this video off, I want to end this with a quote from the author herself. With the story of Hat Atelier, I want to show that there is magic in everyone. The power to change